Back here on this Saturday morning Sports Medicine Weekly. Steve Kashul, Dr. Brian Cole alongside. So happy you're with us. Time now for the staple of our show. It's our Ask the Doctor segment, giving our listeners the opportunity to have Dr. Cole address their specific sports injury issues. Very easy to get involved. Go to our website, sportsmedicineweekly.com. On the homepage, look for the picture of Dr. Cole and yours truly on the right side of that homepage. Click on that link, and you can ask the doc a question. Got some good ones today. You ready for this?
Yep. Let's see if you can stump me.
Here we go, Dr. Cole. First question from our listener. Is there a specific diet that is the best for weight loss?
Okay, so I think this could be a 2-hour answer, but let me give you a basic take-home. Number one, exercise and diet should go together, and it makes it a whole lot easier. If you're only dependent upon the nutritional component, you're cutting yourself short. So I always say turn your body into a furnace at the same time that you're managing the kind of things you're consuming, as food, because it makes it much easier if you have, say, lean body mass to feed your muscles and do it in a way that is much more efficient and not having to sort of hyper focus on what you're consuming in your diet. That being said, we always get asked the question, what should we do? Reduce our fat, for example, or reduce our carbohydrates? Carbohydrate-sparing diets have clearly been in vogue. But it's fascinating when you think back when we had all these low-fat cookies and stuff, it was an absolute crisis. We had all these low-fat cookies at the expense of carbs, right?
Right.
All these different brands were coming on like, let's get rid of fat, And that was the onset of diabetes. That was the onset of glucose intolerance, was this transition between, we got to get rid of the fat, and everything was high carb and low fat. Big problem. So then we transitioned to, carbohydrates must not be good, but you got to eat something, for God's sakes, right? So there was a recent study that I just gave you the take home that looked at the effects of a low fat versus a low carbohydrate diet on a 12-month weight loss program in overweight adults. Okay. And they looked at sort of the genetics of it and insulin or sugar tolerances and so forth in these individuals. So the take home is that it looked at 600 overweight adults that were randomized to either a low-fat or a low-carb diet. And what they showed was that they had similar weight loss in both groups. And neither genotype and sort of their genetic or inherited baseline had an effect on their insulin secretion. And that it didn't have any effect on the dietary effects on weight loss. In other words, the genetic pattern didn't really interfere with the results of either a low-fat or a low-carbohydrate diet. So if you just want some basic take-homes, to lose weight, which is what everyone sort of would like to do when you ask the number one goal, there's some common factors that I think that individuals should understand and participate in. Number one is don't leave out exercise, and that means exercise at a reasonable periodicity, 3 times a week, 45 minutes of intermediate to higher level intensity. Super important, and it makes the whole dieting thing a whole lot easier. But eat more veggies. It's lower calories. You stay full longer. They're nutrient rich. Veggies are carbs, but you're taking veggies in with fiber, so your body does a whole lot better in terms of how it processes it. Eat less sugar, okay? Be very wary of low-fat foods because they make up for it by adding sugar. They make up for it by adding carbohydrates. I've already alluded to that, right? So in theory, though, just take in less sugar. And then finally, eat more whole foods. Shop, as Karen Malkin always says, shop the periphery of the grocery market where there's the unprocessed foods, right? Processed foods generally lack fiber, so they can have nutrients in it, but without fiber, your body doesn't do a good job on the nutritional and the digestion side. So that's what keeps you full is fiber. So those are the take-homes.
Great stuff. Appreciate it. We're out of time, Dr. Cole. Many thanks to our producer, Shane Reardon, our coordinating producer, Tracy Toro. Also want to thank David Cole for managing our website and our business operations, as well as Samantha Smith from Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. A reminder, folks, net proceeds from our show, Sports Medicine Weekly, go to support orthopedic research at Rush through the liveactivenow.org fund. For Dr. Brian Cole, I'm Steve Kashul saying so long. Thanks for listening to Sports Medicine Weekly. Up next here on The Score, early odds with Joe Ostrowski. We'll be back with a brand new edition of Sports Medicine Weekly next Saturday, 8 a.m. Central, only on
670 The Score.